the fall and even into the early winter, as long as my soil is open and not frozen, as long as I can dig into it, I'll often be planting perennials or spring flowering bulbs or garlic, what have you. Today, I'm specifically focusing more on perennials. You can see here in this bed, these are some fall mums that I put into the bed that can actually root here, grow, and live as perennials. But that's all kind of an aside. We have lots of other articles discussing these, perennial planting, fall planting, winter planting, and also keeping your mums going by planting them. Again, that's an aside. The real focus of today's conversation is, if you've planted at any time this fall, how long into the winter do you need to be watering them? We're going into December here in New England. I'm between a zone 5 and zone 6. I'm kind of right on the bubble. And you can see I've still got a hose out here. Why? Because I've still had to water up until this past week when we actually finally got some rain. We were actually in a pretty severe drought situation here. So anything that I put in this fall and into this early winter, we're hedging towards winter, still needed to be watered up until a couple days ago, because this ground was just dust and solid packed dry. It was kind of crazy. In the past, we never used to worry about that in the fall. It's almost something no one thinks about because it was never an issue. You'd get fall rains, remnants of hurricanes that would come up and things like that. And watering in the fall was not a thing. But that's all changing. So here's a quick basic rule of thumb. If you've put in perennials in the fall, and this could be perennial plants, it could be orchard trees, bushes, berry bushes, anything of that nature, you need to continue watering those until your ground is frozen, if your ground is dry. So that's the other key. You don't necessarily need to do it on as regular a schedule as you might in the summer, where we might say an inch of water a week. What you need to do is give about an inch of water anytime the soil is dry, down to 1 to 2 inches down. So obviously, like I said, we just got some rain. This is not dry soil. This is nice and wet. But a week ago I would have stuck my finger in here, and I'm not even sure how far down I would have had to go to find moisture if I hadn't been watering. So that's the trick. And unfortunately, you may need to keep at your watering longer than you might typically expect to. I also feel that we need to stop watching calendars so much, and we need to pay a little bit more attention to what's actually going on in our gardens, because our formerly reliable rules are all kind of skewed with the changing climates and weather. So again, we think that things don't need water once they go dormant, but they actually do. You can't let those roots dry out completely. You need to keep it watered for as long as your ground is thawed. And again, check the soil. If it's not dry, don't water, but if it is, give it some water, and keep doing that until your freezing conditions actually set in.